Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another Forsaken video. Today, I'll be taking a look at these two. The first guy on the left is Taph. He's a mute demolitionist that used to demolish Terminated users' houses back in the day. In Forsaken, he's a support survivor, setting up traps such as tripwires and mines. No, sadly not that lethal. Pretty lethal, but not that much. The guy on the right is John Doe, a test account made by Roblox themselves. In 2017, there was stigma around him taking over Roblox on March 18th. That never happened, as you can guess, but it made him a notable myth in the community. In Forsaken, he's a killer that's also a trapper. He can make temporary walls with his to corrupt energy and lock important parts of the map with his digital footprint. But that's just them in a nutshell. So let's fully go over and explain.
My sin and deceit.
Taph, like I said, is a sports survivor with two abilities, Tripwire and Subspace Trip Mine. Tripwire, on use, Taph will place down a starting point and allow you to place down an ending point of the tripwire. It creates a wire between these points. If a killer steps into this wire, he will be highlighted to all survivors up to 100 studs away for 8 seconds and will get slowness 2 for 4 seconds. These wires are dark, but not invisible and are breakable by the killer. It has a cooldown of 25 seconds. The wires have a max lifespan of 150 seconds, a limit of 3, and can be placed too close to each other. This ability is pretty mediocre. I suggest placing them at dark areas so they're impossibly hard to see, like here on glass houses. The low cooldown saves it from being terrible. His second ability is Subspace Strip Mine. On use, Taph will throw a Subspace Strip Mine that's sorta transparent. If a killer gets close to it, it will explode after 0.4 seconds, and inflict Subspace 3 and Helpless 1 for 5 seconds. It will also reduce its cooldown by 10 seconds on a successful hit. Subspace makes your screen pink and your camera sway in weird directions. And Helpless makes you not able to use any of your abilities, including your M1. These mines will play an audio cue and reveal themselves every 16 seconds. The killer can attack these mines prior to detonating, and if he does, he will only suffer Subspace 1. The killer can also trigger the trap but move out of its radius before it explodes, and he won't suffer any of the effects. Taph is also affected by their own mines, so be careful with that. This ability has a cooldown of 40 seconds, lifespan of 50 seconds, and takes 3 seconds to arm before throwing. This ability isn't that good, is what I would say if it couldn't hit through walls. Placing this at a corner is extremely effective, and the killer has almost no way of knowing it's there unless it decides to reveal itself at the perfect moment. Unlucky. Now on a serious note, this ability is great. The 5 seconds of Helpless feels like ages when you're killer, and them being behind walls and corners makes them really hard to avoid sometimes. Now that I went over his abilities, let me tell you how to use them effectively. With his tripwires, you can set them up in one popular looping spot, or across the entire map. And it depends on the killer you're against. If you're going against Jason or Cool Kid, both strategies can work. You can set your traps in one looping spot to make it absolute hell for them to chase someone there, or set them up across the map. Now against 1x4, John Doe or Noli, setting them in one spot isn't all that good, because as their ranged attacks can snipe them with one ability and make all of those traps go to waste. Suggest spreading them out. Also set them up in dark and poorly lit areas so they're as invisible as possible. His mines, don't just put them out in the open, as they probably will get noticed and destroyed. Place them in spots like corners, drops from high grounds, or overall behind walls. Their exact placement does matter, as if you place them too much to the left or too much to the right of a drop spot, it might actually make the killer be able to go to the other side and not get affected by the mine, so be sure to center your mines. They also work really well with Borderman sentries. Set these up close to each other and it's guaranteed to make the killer racist. The hardest part of Taph is getting your teammates to actually use your shit. Also, epilepsy mode makes your mines 100 times more broken. Instead of a pink screen where they can sort of see things, your screen will be almost fully black, which is an extreme and probably not intended debuff, so be wary of that. Overall, Taph can provide insane support if people actually decide to utilize your traps, and if they're placed well. But he's pretty defenseless by himself, and not placing his traps in good spots will make him get easily countered and be outright useless. He will get an insane amount of value if utilized and played with correctly. Now, moving on to John Doe is a killer that's supposed to be a trapper. He's often called the hardest and most skill requiring killer. Some people consider him the worst, some consider him the best. He has 9 walk speed, 27.25 sprinting speed, 2 passives and 4 abilities. His passives are Natural Malevolence and Unstoppable. Natural Malevolence creates a trail of corruption behind John Doe for every step he makes. If someone steps into this trail, he will get Corrupted 2 for 3 seconds. Corrupted is basically poison or bleeding, but it makes you have ones and O's all over you, so you're easy to see. And Unstoppable makes your stun duration be 2 seconds max if you get stunned while using Corrupt Energy or 404 Error. You will get 4 seconds of speed 1 after the stun ends. The duration of the speed is increased with each living sentinel -1. Let's say there's 4 sentinels alive and you get stunned while using Error 404. That's 7 seconds of speed 1 after a 2-second stun, which is insane. Moving on to his abilities. First one is his basic M1, aka Slash. John Doe slashes in front of him with his claws, dealing 28 damage. While yes, that's a lot of damage, it's slow and pretty easy to juke around. It has a 1.75 second cooldown. His next ability is Corrupt Nature. Wait, wrong killer. Fuck.
I like it cut, G.
Oh yeah, Corrupt Energy. Yeah. After using this ability, John Doe pushes his arm into the ground, and when he pulls it out, 27 spikes emerge in front of him. Hitting a survivor with one of these will deal 12 damage, reveal them for 2.5 seconds, and grant you speed 1 for 7 seconds. You can aim these spikes pretty freely. The same target can all be hit by 4 of these spikes maximum. That's 48 damage max. These are good for making temporary walls to trap survivors to ensure a damage or a kill, or can be used to snipe survivors for the speed buff or to finish a weak survivor off. The spikes last 14 seconds each and the ability has a cooldown of 18 seconds. His third ability is Digital Footprint. On use, John Doe stomps the ground 3 times, creating a puddle of corruption thing. If a survivor steps into this trap, it will disappear and grant them slowness 2, corrupted 1 for 10 seconds, and have John Doe's position be revealed to him. John Doe on the other hand gains speed 1 for 10 seconds and has the unfortunate survivor revealed to him. As you can see by these effects, this motherfucker is dead. Stepping into a trap is often a death sentence to you or whoever John Doe's chasing at the moment, so be careful where you're walking. This ability has a lifetime of 165 seconds, a limit of 3 at once, and an 8-second cooldown. His last ability is Error 404. It's basically his ESP ability, revealing all survivors' positions for 4 seconds. It has a cooldown of 20 seconds. John Doe is the most punishing and technical killer. He's terrible at chases, with no abilities to support chases, slow speed, and slow M1. You need to plan and trap people, which requires some skill and at least basic map knowledge. Here are some good spots to trap people in. Should guarantee a kill if done properly.
name is OneEggs. I made the breakfast. It was difficult to put the meal together. But unfortunately, something went so wrong, and now I can't do anything but sing the stupid song. My name is OneEggs. 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 My dish is done. 1 egg.
That doesn't seem right. There's not enough salt on it. Here, let me fix that.
Oh my god, that's way too much salt. Here, let me add some pepper to fix that.
No, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. You're not adding enough salt.
Oh my god, no, that's like a mountain of salt. Oh, this is so unsalvageable. I'm just going to add more pepper anyways, fuck it. Stop,
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more salt.
Just a little tiny bit more salt. Oh my god, more salt. You can't even see the dish anymore.
Damn. Looks good.
Other than that, set your digital footprint at popular looping spots. Remember, someone stepping in your footprint guarantees a kill 90% of the time. All his abilities have really short cooldowns. Use this to your advantage. Use spikes to snipe unsuspecting survivors, not for the damage, but for the speed. And also for the damage. Don't use this ability mid-chase as it's not good and experienced survivors will punish you by gaining loads of distance unless you're set and you can trap the person. Now for probably the most important part, stun pairing. Remember that unstoppable passive, max stun duration while using 4/4 corrupt nature is 2 seconds and don't get speed 1 for X seconds blah blah blah. Yeah, well you can use one of these right before you get stunned to pretty much guarantee a short stun and extra speed. This is easily done with guess and chance. Hit a guess block, then 404 and boom, easy. The problem arises when he doesn't go for the parry punch and keeps it for later. Then you look kinda stupid. But whatever. And chance. When you see him pulling out his gun, use 404. And that's easy speed for you. Are we fucking serious? Man, I hate chance. Anyway, with 2 damage Shiletsky it's way harder as their windups are way faster and would require a prediction or insane reaction time, which most of us don't have. But players like slashing after dropping from high ground. Using this knowledge, you will be able to predict the stun and boom. I guess it's possible to pull off on a 2-time that's sneaking on you with crouched, but good luck doing this on a 2-time with 20 days of playtime that was the most fatherless trick stops known to mankind. Fuck you. And that should be it. Thanks for watching the video. If you think I missed anything, wanna ask a question, or you have a tip, you can type it in the comments. As always, I hope you learned something new. If you want a specific survivor or killer, or both next, type it in the comments. I'm open for suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.